Okay, the reason why I interjected was actually trying to look at some of those things you mentioned.
Yes.
Perhaps that is the gap, so to speak. Understanding the scriptures, and perhaps if we do that, there will be less conflict, there will be less crisis,
sure,
and so on and so forth. Today we are living in a world that there's this huge growing Islamophobia, and then the Muslim Ummah is facing a lot of challenging times, crisis here and there, and so on and so forth. Take, for instance, the recent happenings in the Middle East, talking about Israel and Hamas. Thousands of people have been killed, and all of this boils down to the issue you raised about wealth, about power, and so on and so forth. Is it that there's a missing link in understanding the scriptures? What exactly is causing these destructions?
Again, if you know the history of the state of Israel, how it was formed, we know that Hitler incinerated 6 million Jews. It was a Holocaust. And we know Hitler incinerated the maximum number of human beings in the world. So the Jews, they went to different parts of the world, and many of them came to Palestine. The Muslims in Palestine, they welcomed their cousins, because the Jews are the cousins of the Muslims. The Arabs, sorry. The Jews are the cousins of the Arabs. If you see the history, the lineage from Abraham alayhi salam, who is the father of all the prophets. So they came and they gave them their home. They welcomed them, come and stay here, no problem. You are being persecuted in Germany, come here and stay. Few years later, what they do, they kick out the host. And they take them out of the land. And when the host, the Palestinians, are crying that I want my home back, they're calling them terrorists. So these are double standards. The person who was helped, the people who helped them, they are persecuting them. And they are calling them terrorists today. And this is common in many parts of the world. If you know that the Britishers, the French, the Portuguese, they ruled 2/3 of the world. They kept on colonizing many world. And Britishers were the people who maximum colonized. The atrocities they have done, no other country has done in different parts of the world. And they teach in the history that we went then to improve the condition of the people. This is all nonsense. They went for power to loot the people. They came to my country, India, and they stayed there for centuries. And they made the country very poor. They looted the country. And there were many people who were fighting for their freedom. And one of the biggest freedom fighters, Bhagat Singh. British government that time called Bhagat Singh as the biggest terrorist. But we Indians, we called him as a freedom fighter. You have the example of USA. In the 18th century, when Britishers ruled USA, there were many people fighting for the freedom. George Washington fought for the freedom. By British government, he was called as terrorist number 1. But the Americans, the USA, they called him as the freedom fighter. And he was made the president of the country. Yes, imagine terrorist number 1 is made the president. You have the example in the African country of Nelson Mandela. He fought against the white apartheid government in South Africa. The white apartheid government called him the biggest terrorist of the world, and they imprisoned him in Robben Islands for more than 25 years. And later on, when he's released, he gets the Nobel Prize for Peace. In the election, he wins the election. He made the president of South Africa. Imagine terrorist number 1 gets the Nobel Prize for Peace, and he's made the president. What you have to realize that whoever is in power, media is very popular. Is very powerful. Media can convert black into white, day into night, hero into a villain into hero. So whatever the powerful people say, it clings on whether it's right or wrong. So today, the Israelis are calling the Palestinians a terrorist. They want the freedom back. They were the people who gave them shelter. So what we have the world, but today unfortunately, the powerful countries like USA, UK, they're supporting the terrorists and they're calling the people who have helped them as terrorists. So the problem today is in the world, why? Because they want power. And coming back to your question, why they want?
Power.
Because they want land.